Hey everyone, welcome back. So we are going to talk about Palantir in this video. Now, Palantir has been one of the most interesting companies that we have seen in the last few years. Some of you will agree with me. Some of you will come back and say, you know what, Palantir is like any other company. There are so many competitors. I agree with you. Each and every one of those companies are going to be one of the most important companies of our generation, because what we are witnessing now is life-changing and game-changing in the next few years. There is a lot happening under the hood than you and I can see with our naked eyes. And these disruptions and these technologies will become more and more disruptive, more and more life-changing as we go in the next few years. So I'm going to talk about Palantir as one company that is changing the world that we live in. Initially, when I learned about AI or artificial intelligence, I thought of those robots in the Hollywood movies where they're shooting guns. For me, that was AI. When I started to study computer science, I basically learned about machine learning. Machine learning was something that you train a machine that kind of depicts or tells you, okay, this is the outcome. Every time, if the same values are given, the output will be the same, and machine is learning. Okay, that was one part of artificial intelligence. I was blown away by the things an AI can do. And in this video, I'm going to share the power of AI that we have today, which is free for you and me to use. Believe it or not, each and every company that you and I talk about, let it be Tesla, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they are heavily involved and invested in AI. It's just that we don't see those things on surface right now. What is Tesla doing with their neural nets? What is Amazon doing with their face recognition technology? You probably read the article where Amazon employees begged Jeff Bezos to stop face sensing technology. This is all AI happening under the hood, and they are actually right now in the process of bringing it out to the mass market. The world that we live in is going to change forever in the next 5 to 10 years, and you and I are going to witness that with our naked eyes. So in this video, let's take a look at a few of those things. Now, before I share my screen, do me a favor, hit that share, subscribe, and like button and help this video reach out to many more Palantir lovers, many more AI lovers. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen, and I have divided this video again in 3 parts. The first part would be the news that we have, and news not just in particular, but there is one article that I would like to bring your attention to, which is very recent, and how that, in my opinion, is a big sign of how things are changing so rapidly. Okay, so first, let's look at some of the general news about Palantir. So we know that Palantir has always been in news. There is people, those who are for it. There's people, those who are saying it's crazy, the valuation is crazy. Regardless, doesn't matter what the valuation is. We are not talking about the stock being $20 or $100 or $500. We are talking about the company and what they are doing in the back end. So Palantir, the latest article that came, that Palantir is $1 trillion valuation. Palantir, big data from banks to space. Again, Palantir is sandbagging growth projections. There are many things that you will see about Palantir. But if you put all of these news articles aside, and if you focus on what's actually happening within the company, that is what's going to blow your mind. Okay, so as we know that Palantir's customers are big government agencies. So that's one thing that I don't like about Palantir, is because we would never know who their real customers are. They would be working with each and every government agency, but to us, there will be only few in the forefront because everything else is happening very secretive from the back door. The public information, as we know, that as of 2013, Palantir has been working with CIA, DHS, FBI, CDC, Marine Corps, Air Force, and few others. The most recent news, which is basically US recovers $2.3 million in Colonial Pipeline ransom, is one of the biggest news that came out today. This is massive news because it proves 2 points. Number one, cryptocurrencies are not hidden from the government. If you're thinking government will have no idea, no access to the crypto wallets or cryptocurrencies, it's wrong, because they can track cryptocurrencies very well. The only thing that cannot be tracked is actually cash, because once you take the cash out from the bank, it's very hard to track down the cash, who you paid, unless you have the serial number of the amount that you took out and then you track that. It's kind of hard. Cryptocurrencies is a data game because it's all data traveling from one end to the other. So they were able to track. But what's really interesting is that they were able to hack and they were able to take back is the real key here. So we don't know if Palantir was involved in this, but it's FBI who did it, okay? And Palantir has been working with FBI. So there could be a connection. Again, I'm not saying there is, and I'm not saying there is not. There could be a connection, but what I'm trying to tell you is that As we go in this cyber world, as we progress in this cyber world, we can see all these government agencies using the technology developed by companies like Palantir. I'm not saying they use Palantir, but what I'm saying is they are relying heavily on these disruptive companies. What is Palantir? Palantir is not a data generation company. Palantir is a data analytics company. What it means is that they get the data, they analyze it, and they present it, and they use it in the ways that has never been seen before. You and I will never see or hear probably the thousands of attacks that happens every day in the cyber world. Companies like Palantir and other data analytics companies are in the forefront of actually stopping these attacks or getting their systems smart enough to basically reject these attacks. All right, so the other point I want to bring your attention to is that AI is changing so fast that it's almost impossible for me to say, it's my opinion only, that in the next 5 years, internet will have a new meaning. Right now, there is a site which is called OpenAI. I'm sure some of you have seen it. But if you go to that site, and it's of course free for you to go and visit and browse and see all the projects. If you look at the projects that they are working on, it'll blow your mind of what AI can do. I mean, these are all amazing projects, which is like open to public. They have an API. You can use their API for free to create application or to create AI applications. They are doing crazy things. You can actually type a sentence and it'll draw a picture based on the sentence. Think about it. Just a few years ago, was that possible? That's impossible. Like computer reading a line, understanding what it is, and then drawing a picture based on that line. Sounds simple that, okay, it's a sentence and then a picture under it. For a human, it's very simple. A dog sitting on a tree, okay, you can draw a dog sitting on a tree, sure, no problem. But for AI to read that, understand, and then draw a picture, and within minutes, I'm not talking about next week or something like that. No, within minutes, you will get the result. So what I did is I actually went online, and there is a site which is called AIwriter.com right here, and you can go yourself and check it out. I actually went and as a sample, I wrote an article on online education. That's the only 2 keywords I entered for online education. It gave me a whole article on online education. Look at this, and it was done under 4 minutes. There was a countdown timer there. Under 4 minutes, the article was presented to me. And if you read the article, it's going to blow your mind of how well this article is written. On top of that, it says the generated text is 85% unique. So it's not that it's going online education, searching, copying, putting it all together. No, the generated text is 85% unique. That's crazy. Think about it. Within 4 minutes, it wrote an article that I bet you a human will take 2 to 3 hours to write. Someone who understands the industry, someone who understands what online education is, someone who knows where to look and find the resources. And look at this, within 4 minutes, it was able to pull this article, and these are the sources it kind of went and searched and wrote this article based on. So this is just a free tool that's available to you and me today. Think about it, what's happening behind the scenes. Think about it, what people are actually doing with the technology right now. Now let's talk about the company. Okay, so this is the news that came out on June 1st that Palantir won United States Special Operation Contract for $111 million. It came on June 1st. One of the exciting things that I really like in this article is that our partnership with USOCOM was one of our first in the US military, and we are honored to keep providing technology that gets the job done while we partner on the future of what is possible. So there is a lot more happening. The 111 million worth is just a public news, but I bet you they're planning so many more things with the US government, with the private companies, because data is getting so important that all these big organizations, doesn't matter if it's government, doesn't matter if it's private, they need companies or softwares like Palantir to make sense of all the data. And along with this news, the other news that came, that Palantir backed $7.4 million contract with CDC for disease monitoring and outbreak response. This is only US government, right? Palantir is going to target different countries, different governments to sell similar contracts that they're selling to US government. Because one of the things that I noticed about Palantir CEO when he was speaking is that, okay, everybody is focusing on how to maintain the COVID response or how to gear better for the COVID response. His thing was that we need to focus on how we can stop the COVID outbreak. And that's where companies like Palantir with their data analytics or their AI system come in place. All right, so one of the other pieces of good news that I saw about Palantir is that the Russell 3000 pre-index list came out. So these are the companies that have a chance of being included in Russell 3000 on June 25th, and Palantir actually made the cut. Now, Palantir stock has been sleeping for a long time. So is the stock market. I mean, nothing exciting is happening except few stocks here and there. But the whole stock market, the VIX is showing like such a dormant state right now. So I feel that this is a very positive news for a company like Palantir because they are being pre-added. Now we will find out on June 25th if they will make the cut and they will be added into Russell 3000. But this is pretty exciting to see that, Palantir's name mentioned here. All right, so now let's talk about the stock in general. So Palantir stock, as I mentioned, that it's actually not bad for where it is right now. This stock is actually such a good buying opportunity right now because the way the levels that it has seen. Now, just a few days ago, probably like 15th of May or something, it was down to like $17 or $18. And since that time, it has raised, and it's actually right now today at the recording of this video was kind of trading about 24.41 level. So I feel that it's going to be a while before we see this huge jump of the stock that we saw in January, like, where the stock was almost, in January end, the stock almost touched like $44 level. We are not going to see that anytime soon because I feel the market overall is going to take some time to run up to that levels. But there is no doubt in my mind that this company is going to do very well in the future. Because again, the company is solving the real world problem, and not only solving, they're actually in the forefront of those real world problems. So anytime a company, as I mentioned in my previous video as well, anytime a company is solving a real world problem, I'm really bullish. I'm not looking at this stock to buy right now and sell next month or next year. No, but I plan on buying the stock, buying the options, and holding for a long term. So that's my plan with Palantir going forward. Now, if you go to tip ranks, you will see that, the price projection that they're showing, that the average price projection for the next 12 months is $21.75 and the high is $30. Now, you and I, we both know that we are going to beat this. This is just very, very conservative. And I can see Palantir touch maybe $60, $70 in the next few years. But again, I'm not giving that prediction based on the stock or the value or the fundamentals. I'm giving that prediction on what company is doing right now, what kind of problems they are solving right now. So I feel the company has a lot more potential and a lot more upside, and I'm being conservative in my opinion, but I feel the company has a lot more potential going forward. So I feel if you are in this company already, then good luck to both of us because I know this company is going to do wonderfully in the next few years. If you are thinking about investing in this company, keep this in one of those high radars that you are always watching the stock, making sure that you are taking advantage of any red days or any down days, because I feel the company has a lot more to offer to its shareholders and to the world as a whole. Again, this is my opinion only. Please do your own research and invest wisely. If you get anything out of the video, please hit that share, subscribe, and like button. Help this video reach out to many more viewers. Until next time, you all have a wonderful day.